Chapter 8. When Roger finished his story, we both knew the novel would be written. We agreed to work at my place. Roger checked out of the hotel and followed me home in his rental car. As I drove home, I reflected on my conversation with Roger, what he said and what I had learned. I tried to organize my thoughts. It seemed bizarre, and to keep out doubt, I began to think of how the novel could start. By now, dear reader, you have probably figured out that my journal is part of this novel, and that you are part of our conspiracy to camouflage the true elements in this novel. I thought, what better way to hide something but in plain sight? The object will be found only when those who look know what they are seeking. How about if... What's going on? I said out loud. As I rounded the curve at the top of the last hill, I saw a fire engine and a squad car. Smoke was rising from what used to be the second floor of my house. An officer approached my car with his right hand hovering above his gun butt, the holster unclasped. "Can I help you, sir?" Then he noticed Roger in his car behind me. He said to both of us loudly, "Gentlemen, can I see some ID? This is a crime scene investigation. Do you have a reason to be here?" "I'm Jeffrey Porter, and this is my house. The gentleman in the car behind me is Roger Highborn, my associate. What happened here, officer?" Gesturing to what was left in my house. The officer took my driver's license and glanced at the information. "I have to ask you both to come with me, please." He took Roger's passport without looking at it. "This way, please." We followed him to a black sedan that was parked at an angle, blocking my driveway. A man wearing a dark blue vest with the acronym FBI in yellow lettering was leaning over the hood looking at a map while cradling a cell phone in his shoulder. Our escort stepped forward and whispered a few words to the man while placing our IDs next to the map. He glanced back at us as he ended his phone conversation with, "I will get back to you. Porter, the owner of the house, just showed up," and he snapped the phone closed. "Mr. Porter, could you please come with me?" Looking at Roger, he said, "Please stay here, sir. We will be right back." As we walked forward, he extended his hand as he introduced himself to me. "I am Harry Comworth, West Coast Director, FBI. I live a couple of miles away from here. Was there anybody in the house when you left?" I was stunned as I looked at what used to be my house. Half of the front of the house had been blown out. "Mr. Porter, please, sir, we need to know if anybody was in the house." My mind raced to form an answer, but all I could think of was, why does he keep asking me the same question? "Captain, is it?" "No, no one was inside. I left at 7:30 this morning for a meeting with Mr. Highborn." I gestured back to where Highborn was standing. "We've just arrived, to this." As I swept my arm in the direction of my house, what happened? There was an explosion. I am sure I turned off the gas before I left. Comworth, in a less urgent voice, said, "No, Mr. Porter. It was no accident that caused what you see. This was done deliberately, and the device was made to cause maximum damage. You're lucky the device was placed in the back of the side of the house, or there would be nothing but a hole where your house stands. It looks like a warning, Mr. Porter. I read your book. I know your background. You made a lot of people pretty upset with your theories. You've even caused me some personal problems on the home front because I agree with some of your views. But now you're under my jurisdiction, and I will not have this shit happening in my own backyard. So please come with me. Look over the house and grab some things to last you for a few days. You cannot stay here, that's for sure. Plus, we don't know if this person or persons will come back to finish the job. So let's look at the house and then go to my office and I'll try to tie up the loose ends so that we can get these crazies off the streets."